Welcome back to Alchemist Angel Tarot 444. This is going to be for the Sun, Moon, and Venus sign of Pisces. Somehow I skipped you guys on my water week or my water days, and I apologize for that. I love Pisces. I think that you guys are like the sexiest sign. I know, and you're so unpredictable. So I love me some Pisces energy. So we're going to go ahead and look into your past person and your current or person, or the person coming towards you in love if you're not currently with somebody. What I'm going to be doing here is taking two separate decks, and I will be looking at your energy and the energy from the situation in the past you had with the past person, even like your perspective on the relationship, your perspective on that person, lessons that you may have learned, attachments, unhealthy or healthy. And please recognize the fact that when I go into your person for past and present, I'm going off of their perspective. I'm asking for their perspective on the relationship and on the situation and on you. Doesn't mean it's my perspective, and there's no judgment here. So please understand that I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just giving you the perspective of your person. So we all know how some exes can be and how they perceive to always be the victim. But there's no victims here at Alchemist Angel Tarot, because that's just not the way it goes in this game of love, the game for two. So no victims here. But then we'll go into your current relationship or the relationship that's coming towards you, and we will get some insight on your energy, your perspective on that relationship, and the details that surround it, as well as your person, what you can expect or when you can expect them. And if I happen to see that you're still dealing with the same person that's coming up in your energy from the past, I will let you know, because that has happened. So we'll just try to be very clear with what I see, and I'm not sugarcoat anything because that's not what I'm here to do. But let's get started with a little bit of prayer, and I want to show you as well the decks I'm using. So I'm going to be using this deck for your energy, Pisces, okay, for past person and for the new person or the person coming towards you in love. Let me make one thing clear. This is not the past person like your last relationship. It could possibly be, but I mean by your past soul connection. The last soul connection that you had that like really affected your life, helped you to transcend or to learn lessons. Somebody that had an impact on your life at a spiritual level, okay? So it may not have been your last relationship, but it's definitely a past person. So we'll see who comes up, and you'll probably be able to recognize right away who this person is for you. Some of you might be dealing with this person currently, and so they'll come up twice. So, like I said, it's happened before. I think it happened in my Scorpio reading, for sure it did, and I think in my Virgo reading as well. So Pisces, and then we're going to be using this deck, which I need to sage it really quick again. So my sage smoke going off over here. If I start coughing, you know why. But this will be the deck I used. The Wizard's deck for you, the Light Seer's deck for your person, okay? And we're going to start with the past and then end with the present or incoming situation. Mother, Father, help me to see clearly for the Sun, Moon, and Venus sign of Pisces. Help me to see into their past situation, their perspective on it, their person's perspective on it, any lessons that were learned, anything that's unhealed for them. And then let me go into the current situation or the new love coming into their life. Let me see some perspective, maybe a timeline, anything that's of importance to you, to give the messages clearly and forward from all the angels and guardians in the universe around the collective of Pisces, please. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so got your energy over here, Pisces. Okay, well, I'm going to pull 4 cards or whatever comes out, but I try to pull 4. So let's start with Pisces. Pisces, please, their energy and their past situation, their past soulmate. past soulmate, Pisces energy, and objective perspective situation. Oh, give me a lot more than 4, so I'm not going to take those. You got a lot to say about this past soulmate. Hey, Pisces. 4 points, please. Oh, okay. So somebody was a liar, or a cheater, or a thief, just a no good scoundrel. This had a bad ending. Okay, so this could have ended up in a divorce where children were involved, and it could have ended up pretty ugly. You could have been dealing with any fire sign, a Scorpio, an Aquarius, Taurus, another Pisces, a Leo. So what I see here is the ending of this relationship. There was an ending here, and you felt it was necessary because of something. Somebody was lying, stealing, cheating, just being very sneaky. Like they maybe kept a lot of things hidden from you, or you felt they kept a lot of things hidden from you. There was a lot of secrets and stuff. Like they had a total different. You may have felt like they had a different life other than the one they lived with you. Like this person could have been very secretive. They could have even had a mistress, somebody who was a fire sign that caused an ending here, or it could have been you, and that you could have been the one that had another lover on the side. For some of you, you could have been in a relationship, man and woman, and then cheated with the same sex. That's not for everybody. Or your person cheated with the same sex, and it come crashing. Everything came crashing down. I feel that once this ending happened, you wanted to be able to have some of your independence back. You wanted to be able to express yourself independently, and you wanted to be able to have time for yourself. So you may have at times kind of not necessarily abandon your motherly duties if you were, or fatherly duties, but just been a little more not so attentive to your motherly or fatherly duties as was expected from you, because you felt you deserved this. You deserved to have some freedom, to have some independence, because you had put so much into this relationship and into the children or into the dynamic. And when everything kind of fell to shit, you decided that you were in a certain, I'm going to do me kind of attitude. I'm just going to do me. I deserve to do me. And when in doing you, some of you took it a little too extremes, to the point of you got caught up with maybe unhealthy behaviors or relationships, even to some degree that you kind of almost missed the this past person, even though they were a liar, a cheater, just a very cold person. At times they were very manipulative, even selfish, and you kind of missed that dynamic at times because you had created chaos for yourself outside of the relationship when you moved on, and it just seemed like one thing after another, you just kept getting hit with bad karma. So you could have very well been the one that was cheating, or it could have been mutual. Both of you had lovers outside the relationship. You may have gotten together very young, and a lot of it was based off attraction, and then ended up having children together, and then trying to make it work for a long time. You may have stretched this out years. This could have lasted way beyond what should have been maybe just a one night stand, or just a fling turned into a marriage, children, and it came all crashing down, and it was not pretty when it did. Like it could have even like been to the point where someone threatened your life or threatened your livelihood or tried to destroy your belongings or your home. Just became violent or very territorial, and they just refused to let you go. They were still very attracted to you. They liked having that control over you. They liked to be able to manipulate you or to get you to do what they wanted. You were kind of like their arm candy for some of you. You were like that good looking older guy that always seemed to have a good job and be there and be their loyal partner, and they were dependent on you. Or you could have been like that woman younger woman that was real beautiful and charming, and everybody just loved you, and you had children with them, and you still kept your body really nice, and you were just still very attractive. But they tried to control your relationships with people. They could have even tried to exploit you in some ways in your good looks, because if they didn't feel like they could control you, so they would try to even try to, if they couldn't control you, they would condone certain behavior and try to make themselves look as if they were in control of that, if you know what I mean. So like if you were drinking and they didn't like you drinking, when you would be drinking, they would not only purchase the alcohol, they would um, push you to get like drunker than normal so that you would pass out, or so that you were too incapacitated to really argue or fight with them, and they could control what you did after the fact that you got drunk. Kind of a really manipulative, very, very, kind of a sociopath, I guess you could say in some way, Pisces. Very controlling nature. They're very persuasive though in their controllingness. They try not to be too brash or too violent or anything like that, but were very manipulative, and they've definitely played a lot of games and manipulated your emotions, and a lot of control issues here. But you closed this chapter with this person. This chapter was opened up at a pretty young age with this person for most of you. Yeah, it could have been teenagers or in your early 20s. But this relationship had come to a final ending, and the ending just didn't look good either. Like someone tried to really keep you stuck in a situation that you were no longer, you had left, or you had made this choice to walk away from this, and they weren't having it. So let me go ahead and look at your past person's energy. It's got to be a lot of lessons learned here for you, hey Pisces. I'm sure of it. I think it really, really had an effect on you and how you seen yourself and your confidence after this. And yeah, I think maybe some of you wowed out far too long afterwards, just because you were so controlled by this person. See, so this person's perspective is that you never gave fully to the relationship. They thought that you always held back. They could never quite understand you or know what you were thinking. You were very mysterious for them. They may have thought you were always online chatting with somebody else, or maybe you had something that was going on online with somebody else. Like they felt that this person was very jealous of the attention that you got, because for whatever reason, you had a lot of friends or just a lot of admirers, or you got a lot of attention, and they were kind of jealous of that. It really bruised their ego for some reason. They were almost in competition with you. They were always in their head about you, thinking that you were going to leave. They had this huge fear that you were going to leave them and you weren't going to stick around, they felt you were only in the relationship because you had to be, you were kind of trapped, and they wanted to kind of keep you feeling that way. They hoped to make you feel trapped in ways like you couldn't leave. And I don't mean that in a physical way, I mean that in like a mental way. They didn't want you to become too independent. They like to keep you a codependent on them. They were very immature, and they seen you as still immature too. So you may have been very young when you got together with them. They seen you as a little bit selfish, like they were the ones that had to do all the providing for, like financially, a lot for, like, say you were in college during at the most of your relationship, going to college, and you had a couple kids, and so it was a struggle. They feel like because they were the breadwinner and while you were going to school, that they took care of you, but they had this fear that when you graduated college and you started making good money, probably more money than them, that you would leave. And so that they would almost make it hard for you to be able to finish school or to do your classes, like make it almost impossible. They'd put more chores on you, more workload on you. Whether you realize this or not, I'm pretty sure you did, you're very intuitive, but that they tried to make it as difficult as possible because of their underlying fear of you becoming too independent, too able to provide the stability and the finances that it would take for you to provide for yourself and your children. They didn't want to see you. They wanted to see you be successful. They wanted you to be pretty. They wanted you to be seen, but not to be heard, and not to be that confident. They didn't like the fact of you becoming so confident in yourself and to be able to rely solely on yourself. That really just really put them a lot of fears in them. That comes from childhood insecurities. They had some insecurities here from a mother figure that may have abandoned them, or they may have even abandoned a relationship for you when they got with you, and felt because they had made such a sacrifice to be with you that they had to cling on to you like with all of their fingernails. They just clung to you, like they just couldn't lose you. That just the thought of losing you was just almost it was almost it was so scary for them that they couldn't. I don't know how to explain this, but it literally mortified them to think of losing you, or to think of you becoming so successful and confident. So they tried to break you down a lot of times, and they know that they did that. They know that they were mean. They know that they did try to make your life harder than they had to let you be successful. They would only give you compliments when it felt like it was the right thing to do because it would benefit them. They didn't give you compliments because they genuinely cared and wanted to boost your self-esteem. And in fact, I feel like they tried to exploit you in some ways, or to even make you underestimate yourself, guess yourself, or to give you some self-esteem issues, which have obviously carried on past the relationship for you for a long time. If you haven't healed those by now, I hope you do. But this person really created some trauma within you and within your confidence, and I really could see it, maybe even a pattern of bad relationships coming up after this with men that did not deserve your, or women that did not deserve your time and attention. A lot of flings, a lot of toxic people, and that's because your self-esteem was just damn near ruined over this person and the way they treated you. And this was intentional. They intentionally hoarded their emotions. They intentionally held back. They intentionally exploited you. They intentionally tried to make things difficult for you, because they were scared to lose you. They literally created the loss of this relationship out of fear of losing you, because they knew they were treating you wrong, but yet they didn't know how to treat you better. I think they wanted to treat you better, but their fears would not allow them to. So let's see the signs for this person. I don't have the major. I already said the signs. I'm pretty sure. I don't see any more major arcana here. Fire sign could have been a fire sign. Someone with a lot of fire in their chart. Very passionate person, a leader, a go-getter. Someone who maybe owns their own business. Very, very, even they could have been like a show-off, or just kind of narcissistic. Even a pretty good-looking person for sure. You were probably pretty young when you guys got together. I'm seeing here. They had a nice physique. They were kind of a bully, though. I really feel like they used their charm and their good looks to bully other people. They may have had a bad childhood, hard childhood, a rough childhood, and I think that maybe you didn't, or vice versa. And they brought a lot of these toxic traits and learned behaviors into the relationship. And they became almost to the point of like scary violent, but not necessarily towards you, but maybe towards your friends, or towards the people you hung out with, or towards other people. Like you started a new relationship, they might have threatened the person you were in a relationship with, or yeah, they just, when they started losing control over you, they became a total bigger monster. But I think you already knew that they were capable of this. You just really didn't give a shit at this point. They tried to hold on to you with their fingernails and dig in for sure, but you weren't having it. You were done. Once you were done, you were done. But you tried to pretend you were confident afterwards, and like you didn't, like you knew you were still the shit, but really deep down inside you doubted yourself and questioned a lot of things about yourself, and felt very lost in your own identity after this relationship. You didn't really know who you are or what you wanted anymore, and I feel like there was a string of toxic relationships that followed afterwards. So good luck to you on your healing journey from this past soulmate. They're very, very karmic for you. They were very much they weren't a very good person, and I think it came from the way they were raised. Now let's go into your current situation, Pisces. Pisces' current situation, or the newest person coming in, and how they're going to view this relationship, how they see this relationship, and any lessons or anything important we need to see here, please, for Pisces and their energy. Guardians, angels, ancestors, Pisces and their energy currently for the next newest person, next newest soulmate. Okay. Okay. So some of you are going to find that you're going to end up with a person that's going through a divorce or something. Somebody who may be going through a divorce of some sort. They have lost some money due to the cost of the divorce, but they're pretty well off anyways. This person has money. They work hard. They have money. They're very smart. They're very smart about their money. They're a good communicator. But for whatever reason, they may feel that they lack what it is you deserve or need because of the loss they took, the financial loss they took from a relationship they were in, whether it be from child support, alimony, just having to cut losses and split businesses or something like that. But there's something about this person really having a little bit of fear of not being able to give you all that they think you deserve. I'm not saying that you expect that much or that you even have high expectations of financial stability or anything like that. But for them, they see you as somebody who deserves this. So it also could be somebody that you can't move in with right away because they're still separating the home situation. And now if this person comes in and they're still living with their spouse, but they say they're going to get into a divorce, they say that they're going to be splitting up, don't even mess with this person, okay? Don't even hear that. And tell them, like, whenever you get that shit figured out, then get a hold of me, okay? But while they're still living with somebody else, don't allow that, Pisces. Don't. It's not even, they're not even worthy. Because what you allow, you cannot change, and this could go on for years after that. There could be something here about an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or highly aspected in their chart. Something about the living situation here with this person, though, is just a little bit rocky. Like, maybe you guys can't live together because they have too many dogs, and so you guys have to live a little bit further apart than you want to. You don't get to see each other too often because you have too many dogs, so you can't necessarily move in together. You might see this person for a while and start talking about moving in together. They may have children, you may have children, and it just is like too much stress to try to blend the relationships right away. But I really do see that the longevity or the perspective of this is to eventually blend and move in together. Okay? But this may take some time, especially because of finances and extended families, both of you having children, and one of you may be going through a divorce, or both of you. But eventually I see the long-term goal here is to move in together, is to build together, is to blend families together, and to communicate honestly with each other. No matter, despite your guys' losses that you've taken in the past, I really feel that you still want to build together, and you still see a lot of hope in doing this with this person. So like I said, they could have had some losses before you. This could be an air sign, or they could have been dealing with an air sign, an ex-wife who was just very, very cutthroat, but very business oriented. Maybe in some way they might have shared a business with somebody, and they're just having to work through all that. Let's go ahead and see their perspective on the relationship and how they view it. You just have a little bit of doubt here if this is going to be something. I think you just have to exercise a lot of patience here, Pisces, to be honest with you, okay? With this person. I feel like if you're not already dealing with this person and have been dealing with this person for a little while now, that if not, then by next June, I would say, this person's definitely going to be somebody who's already in your environment. You may have met them at work, and it might have been a office type work relationship, or they could have been a boss or something like that. I'm just saying. And it was kind of like a no-no, like a hush-hush thing, and you guys kind of kept it on the down low until the one or both of you was separated from your partner. And so it was kind of a shaky thing to build off of, but I think you're at the point where you're looking down at the long-term goal here, and like the long haul. And I still see you both wanting to move forward together and build together, have a family together, blend your families together. And you may have one or both of you may have had to quit the job where you guys initially had met at, and or and take positions elsewhere. It might even cause some problems within the work dynamic at work. So somebody may have gotten fired. But I think for the both of you, it was pretty much worth it. So how your person sees this. Okay. Okay. So, like I said, your person is probably the one that was going through a separation. Maybe they owned a business with a wife or with a lover or girlfriend or long-term partner, and they have to separate from them. It's causing them some financial stress, which you're not as worried about it as they are. They really feel a huge loss here. They really feel a huge fear of not being able to give you what it is that you desire. They may feel like you might not know about how much financial hardships that they're going through because of this separation with this person. They could feel that they could have felt that this was kind of like a sex-based relationship at first. Maybe you guys were just, like I said, at the office fooling around, and it turned into more, or somebody found out and it caused a divorce, and you guys are still talking, and you guys have grown to become emotionally attached now, not just physically or whatever, mentally escaping with each other. But now it's becoming more of an emotional attachment. But I really feel for this person and your person, it's like they've had some kind of a major loss here when it comes to like their finances and their family. Like their family may have their kids may not be talking to them because they left their mom, or they may not they may have to give up their home and half of their assets because they were the ones that uh, walked away from the relationship, and they're being proved to have abandoned, and they may have to pay child support or alimony. They're really, really scared about the conflict that they're having over, but they want to move forward with you. They do. They just don't know if the timing's quite right. Whereas you're ready. You're like you've healed yourself a lot from your past, and you're in a better position. You're just very more honest upfront. You know what you want, and you're willing to accept the fact that they're gonna have to take losses to be with you, and you're willing to build all those losses back up together. Where they are like, they see this as more like the cup is half empty. They don't know if that they can really bring you the stability that you need. They also they also could have been dealing with somebody who was a woman who was very promiscuous, and it wasn't actually them that was the promiscuous one, but they could have been dealing with somebody who's very promiscuous and who was out for their money and just wanted them for money, and that's all they really cared about, and they were very dishonest. And but still, no matter what, to have left this person was a huge fight, and maybe even a court case, and just something about the timing just isn't quite right for the two of you, but yet you guys are trying to force it together anyways because of your attraction for each other, or because you're for desire for each other. But just be careful with that, because I feel like that your person has a lot of unhealed trauma and some even legal matters and things that they have to work through before they can really approach you and give you the stability and the longevity that you desire from a relationship with them. You might end up having to put this on the back burner and to spend some time independently away from each other as friends without no physical relationship between each other, or and just trying to be each other's support. You may have to be really patient with this, Pisces, too. But there is something about here, divine timing. You may have been attracted to this person, or they've been attracted to you for a long time. There could have been like a hush hush relationship between the two of you, or like a, you guys could have been the side guy or the side girl. But I do see divine timing here, but there's just a lot of unfinished things that they have to get through to be able to offer you anything really stable. But this is your next soulmate. There is huge lessons to learn from this person. And I don't see this ending anytime soon, but I really feel like it could end up in a break for a while. And both of you just kind of partying your ways and dealing with your own shit, especially them, before this comes back together. Yeah, this definitely feels like it was a third party situation on somebody's end here, and or they were dealing with a third party, and that's why they ended up divorced. And now they're coming towards you, but very slowly, because they still have unfinished, unhealed trauma, and a lot of it to do with children, finances, and just things. They don't want to bring this drama to your doorstep, but they don't want to be without you either. And it could have been your guys' relationship that actually caused the separation or split or divorce for somebody, one or both of you, like I said. So just take it how it resonates. Just know that you're gonna have to be very patient in this, Pisces. Okay, that's what I have for you. I hope it resonates for you. Like, share, and subscribe. Love you.